Hello, folks. Rick Berube here again on this lovely Thursday for another Facebook Live. Today, we have a very special treat from the Southwest office, Miss Natalie Cornejo. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes the studio audience is just a little behind the eight ball. So Natalie, okay, so obviously people in Vegas, we all know who you are, but Arizona, California, if you could just take a moment and tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this, etc.
Okay. Well, I started with Prudential 19 years ago. I'm originally from Middle America, Peoria, Illinois. Came out to Las Vegas. Yeah. Came out to Las Vegas to go get my master's in hotel administration at UNLV. Graduated, went to Chicago, froze. And then when Four Seasons opened up a hotel here in Las Vegas, I moved back. So I've been back since 1999. And then about 19 years ago, got engaged. 9/11 happened, had like a whole revamp of what was important in my life, and then decided to get into real estate. So I've been started with Prudential and been here ever since.
That's great. And Prudential turned for Hathaway, and now you're still here, killing it too.
Yes, I don't like change.
As a matter of fact, that's what both Chuck and Aldo said when they sent you over you as a suggestion. They said, she's killing it in Summerlin. You got to interview Natalie Cornejo. So I'm like, oh, come on, let's interview Natalie. So give us a little bit about, your production level and things like that would be great. How you do this.
Well, I mean, I work by myself. I don't have a team.
Right.
So, when I work, I try to do about 3 deals a month. My goal this year is 2.38 transactions a month. And it just depends, that's sustainable for me and my family. And so that's how I do. But I did well the last couple of years. So it's been good.
So you like to be on that 3 deal a month, which is about 36 a year, which really in Nevada, I mean in Las Vegas especially, with the average sale prices going up so ridiculously high, right? Mm-hmm. This is the highest average sale price ever here right now. So we've beat last time's peak. So that 3 a month is probably a really good income for you. So congratulations.
Right. But I mean, when I set my goals, I had to go back and look at what my goal was. It's like, I don't set my goals based on a financial. It's more of, how is it going to incorporate into my life? Because I have a husband, I have 2 young kids. It's just, how does it all fit together?
Yep. 2 young girls I hear too, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
So 13 and 11. So we're virtually learning right now, which is fascinating.
13 and 11. Oh, you have a teenage girl. Uh-oh.
Yes. I've been reading books and drinking wine.
I've been reading books, drinking wine, and protecting myself. Yes. I'm only kidding. I have a 16-year-old, my youngest. He's still at home too. Yeah. So good stuff. It's fun. It's always fun. Okay, so this year is pretty incredible. How's it started off for you?
Good year. I mean, all of my business comes from referral. 99.9% I've had in the last 3 years, 1. So that was not a referral. But this year I had a referral that was at a high price point that closed in February. So that was, a good start to the year. And then just having things in the pipeline and just kind of coaching people when's the right time for them to sell versus, when it's convenient for me.
Yeah, it's so true. Because, it's funny because some of the agents I coach will ask me, well, I'm trying to convince the seller it's the perfect time. Well, it has to be, like you just said, the perfect time for them, right? So, I mean, and it's all in how you ask what questions. Yes, because I heard through the grapevine that you did follow the Brian Buffini system a little, which is great, referral only, right?
A lot, not a little. I mean, I've been with Buffini for 15 years. and they do coaching. And so that's kind of one of the things I would tell people. If you're new to the business, get a coach and figure out what motivates you. And there's all kinds of different programs out there. I mean, Buffini works for me, but before I settled on Buffini, I went to probably 3 or 4 other companies, and this was the one that spoke to me. And what spoke to me about Buffini was that when you were talking about goal setting, you were not talking just about goal setting for your business. It was other life things too, because I believe that, you know, people are putting their trust in us for a very important transaction. We've got to kind of be stable in our lives. And so if my life's falling apart, if I'm having financial issues, if I'm having marriage issues, if I'm having kid issues, it's hard for me to guide somebody and help them make the decisions that's best for them. You know, if I feel like, not that my life's perfect by any means, but if I feel that I'm able to guide my clients based upon what they need versus what I need, that's the best situation.
Yes. Yeah, I have a little funny term for when people try to get things they don't do, things they don't want to do because it's a great time to sell. You should sell now. I call that commission breath.
Right. Exactly. And they can see it. People know.
Oh,
People
yeah.
know that I can multiply 3 very quickly in my head. I have to kind of, you know, put that back in the back so they don't see that.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. And just last week, I was talking to an agent and we were going through the same conversation. And I said, she goes, well, what would you have done? I said to her, okay, well, tell me where they're moving if they sell. Well, I don't know. Then how can you give anybody, right, advice on what to do? You got to know where they're going, what their time frame is, what's important about it. What, you know, otherwise you have commission breath, stinky smell, repulsive.
Absolutely. And so like my business is all referral based and it's all repeat clients. Like I just pulled up my numbers before the call, and 33% from the last 3 years, 33% has been repeat clients. And then 57% has been referrals through my database. So, and then I had, through the Buffini network, I had 7 transactions. So, you know,
Nice.
that's also a source of income.
Yeah, you mean connecting with other Buffini agents across the country.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's all about the relationships. It's the relationships with your clients. It's the relationships with other realtors. It's, you know, it's a relationship business, not a transaction business. And so if you start thinking about it by transaction versus relationship, you're not going to be successful.
No, I totally.
You may not be happy and be successful.
Yeah, you got to find people that are actually doing something, that are moving, that are motivated. And the referral business is by far the best, especially like most of your referral business comes from people that you've worked with referring other people to work with you. It sounds like 57%.
Absolutely.
That's incredible.
Absolutely. And then you don't spend the first, 2 or 3 times going out trying to convince them what a great realtor you are and how awesome you are, because they've already been told that. And they've been told that from somebody that they trust and they love. And so they know, well, if Joe's going to say to go with Natalie, I'll just trust what Joe says and go with Natalie. So
you come pre-sold.
I do. I do. Yeah. It makes it a lot easier. And then that gives me more time to do the things that are really important to me, which is do things with my family and, not have to be, doing the grind all the time.
Yeah. Rumor has it you work about 30 hours a week. Is that accurate?
That'd be high.
Aldo was being generous. Well, good for you at three deals a month. That's damn good. I do success series, as you know, for the company, and I do coaching for the company. And I would say that when I talk about your sphere and repeat and referral, I give them a lot of Buffini ideas. So
well, it's not unique to Buffini; it's just common sense, really.
Yeah, well, I call myself idea agnostic, meaning that I don't care who came up with it. If it's good, I'm using it. I'm talking about it because, like you just said, 9 out of 10 times they didn't originate it. They just talk about it because it's common sense and it's something that works. So speaking of, Buffini has so many great ideas, pop buys and different things. So which ones do you use to keep in touch with your sphere and your database?
I mean, every month somebody gets an item of value, so something goes out into the mail to them. I do. I think I have room for improvement in a lot of the Buffini methods. I mean, I think that nobody's really master. We're just attempting to master things. So, I mean, there's definitely room for improvement. But what I think I do is I'm really good at calling my database, touching base, seeing how they're doing.
Right.
Especially during the pandemic, it's a important time to reach out to people that you care about. And so, the people that I've helped are people I care about. So I have been giving them a call and touching base, and it's, translated into to business for this year, which, wasn't my intent. It's just a natural byproduct of reaching out to people that you know and like.
And being someone that cares. Yeah.
Exactly.
And they can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Delinda Crampton, she uses Buffini a
Yeah.
lot too. So yeah, I think it's
Yep.
great. My
Actually,
favorite.
Belinda and I, we went to a Prudential conference together, and that was kind of the time where both of us kind of clicked and said, "Oh, this Buffini thing's pretty smart." That was way back when,
It
like
really is.
16 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's really smart. My favorite is the ketchup, mustard, and relish.
Yeah, and the Popeyes are cute. I mean, like I bought a bunch of Thin Mints for my clients this year and delivered them. And this year, Girl Scout cookies were kind of a commodity, so that went over pretty well.
Yeah. If you're looking for, those large ketchup, mustard, and relishes around mid to June to late July, Costco is sold out because all the Buffini agents go and take them all.
Exactly. And pumpkin pies at Thanksgiving. It's the same thing.
I love it. Yeah. Another guy from California, Dick Crawford, I coach, he also does the Brian Buffini thing. And actually
Mm-hmm.
has his own special sticker made to go over the ketchup one with his picture on it. So it's in their fridge with his picture. So anyway, so awesome. So you stay in touch by phone. Is there anything else you do that you thought would be helpful to agents out there?
I mean, phone, personal notes, and I think it's connecting with people the way that they want to be connected and figuring out how people like to be connected. Some people don't want to get a phone call from you all the time, but you know what? Sending them a text or sending them a card, it's just kind of knowing how people like to be talked to. And
Right.
listening.
So they're proven, yeah, they're the way they like to be contacted and communicated with is the best way to do it, whether it be texting, emailing. Some people, it's even on social media, direct messaging, right?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm on Facebook, but when you go to my Facebook page, it's not a lot of real estate stuff. It's more, kids and drunken mommy memes and, things that make me laugh and stuff like that.
I love the memes, don't you? It's kind of fun. That's why TikTok is so funny. I think TikTok is pretty hilarious. Some of the stuff that's on there. Some of it I can't repeat, but some of it is really funny as well.
Well, I don't let my kids have that, so I can't tell you what's on TikTok, Rick. So.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, it wouldn't be good for not those ages, 11 and 13. No. Not yet.
No, I know. I'm sure this is good.
Some of the things on social media though today, you really got to be watching everything as far as yeah. Oh, good. Okay, so you got the referral. I love that. You've got have you had any time to dig into the new VAC 2.0 at all?
I have started. I've taken the classes, and that's actually one of my goals for this year. Is like I said, my goals are more specific on how I can improve, and one of them is to refine my systems. Buyer checklist, seller checklist, and the VAC to get that all set up.
Yeah. We have a lot of people that have had things like and the Buffini network, that database that you have there. That would be separate, but you could download all of your people into it, getting the neighborhood reports and the newsletters, which I think are and they're all branded, with the
Absolutely,
which is awesome. So good, you can check that out. All right, awesome. And then for you, where you are in the price range you're selling, I think Apex would be something that would be helpful too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. All right, so this is my favorite part, Natalie, just so you know, because I think agents watching this, they like to know what you're thinking, and you're obviously a top producer, very successful. 36 homes a year when the average agent in NAR does 4 is pretty impressive. Okay, so what would be the top 3 things you would tell if I'm brand new or if I'm trying to take my business to the next level? What would be the top 3 most important things you would tell them to focus on?
Well, I think
right on the spot. It's live too, by the way. No pressure.
Not to be distracted by shiny things. I mean, there's lots of oh, look, there's a squirrel in real estate. So you can be distracted very easily about, oh, I need to try this. I need to do this. I need to be impressive to people. I don't think that people are overly impressed as much as we sometimes think they are. And maybe that just comes from age. Maybe that just comes from, my personal beliefs. But I see a lot of agents trying to impress people when really it's not about us. It's about your client. And we need to remember that.
Great point.
I think it's important to take care of your own financial, and I think we already talked about this, but take care of your own financial situation. In 2006, it was my first really, really big year. And I got the call in 2007 from my CPA telling me how much I owed in taxes, and I about keeled over. So ever since 2006, when I get a commission check, that money is put away. 50%, I put 10% in my SEP and 40% in for taxes, just so I know that I'll never have to, experience that again. And then at the end, it always encourages me to pay my taxes early, because then, when my taxes are done, I have a little bit of a nest egg that I can go and have some fun with. And then I guess
great advice.
Yeah, it's scary when you, and kind of going back to the commission breath, when you need that sale more than your client does, that's not in a good place. That's not a good place for you to be in as a professional advisor.
And it's transparent. They can feel it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And then, I'd also say make your goals your goals. Don't chase other people's goals. I think it's probably not the thing to say before we do our awards ceremony next month or next week, but being number one in the office, being number two in the office, whatever, that's, make your goals and achieve your goals. Don't worry about how you compare to other agents.
That's great. No, it's so true too, because a lot of people, let's start with the first one, the shiny object. It's such a great point, because a lot of people, you get started and then you get distracted and you get distracted. Now, I've been doing this for 36 years and coaching for 25 of them. And I can tell you, some people get distracted. Some people are in search of the distraction.
This is true. Absolutely.
Right? And then they blame it. Like COVID was the perfect thing, even though it was a terrible situation. And it's unfortunate we had so many deaths. But if you're looking for a reason not to work, you just got handed one with that. But now we're all back and at it.
There's tons out there. Absolutely. So
yeah, I think real estate people are, because we're independent contractors, nobody can tell us. So a lot of them take the option of, you can't tell me what to do. And, they get distracted because there's so many different avenues you can take, right?
Right. Well, and that's why it's a good idea to have a coach, because then you have somebody, or if not a coach, a broker you can lean into, like Aldo. I lean into Aldo a lot. I mean, I call Aldo all the time with questions about stuff. And I think that, taking advantage of what Berkshire Hathaway has to offer as far as coaching is concerned, and then, reaching out to other networks out there that speak to you and find somebody that's going to hold you accountable, even if it's, if it's not a coach, an accountability group or something.
Well, you still get to call him Aldo, because he told me he was now referred to as El Presidente.
I call him El Jefe.
For those who don't know, Aldo is president of Las Vegas Area Realtors, formerly known as Gelvar, which was way cooler of a name. Let's face it.
It's funner to say.
Gelvar. All right. So we got that. And then a lot of people, it's funny you say that, because in one of my first big years was the early 90s. I went through the same thing, and I had to pay my taxes plus small payments every month for about a year until I evened out. And then I realized the IRS isn't a nuisance. It's your partner if you're self-employed, right? And
you go through that, and that kind of formulates how you live. I mean, it's kind of, I used to really laugh at my grandpa, because he lived through the Great Depression, and he was so tight with money. tight with money. And I'm like, Grandpa, come on. But the man lived through the Great Depression. And, as realtors, if you were selling real estate in 2007, 2008, 2009, you kind of lived through a little bit of a real estate depression. And, average house prices were really low, and you would spend all your time trying to do a short sale. And, I think in 2007, I was doing single digits, 2007, 2008, 2009. I mean, I didn't even do one transaction a month. It was my worst years. And so living through that and getting out on the other side has kind of helped me, how I live my life now. So yeah, budgets are very important.
Yeah, no, you said as far as the budget goes, as far as the planning for retirement, as far as saving money, all of that boring stuff that eventually becomes very exciting. And it doesn't have to be a lot, just a little over a period of, and let's face it, as a self-employed person, you got the SEP option, which is really good. You're not paying taxes on it. So there's a whole bunch of options you can take. So when the finish line, meaning retirement, hopefully someday comes, you have a nest egg tucked away. Wouldn't that be great?
Exactly. So, and having the reserves is good. Because not every, even though I've budgeted 2.38 transactions per month, January, I didn't have anything in January. So, when we do business like this, you have to budget accordingly. So.
Yeah, great point. You don't get 1/12 of your business every month. Wouldn't that be great? But it never happens.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, I know some of the top agents like yourself that I coach, they could close 60% of their business in 4 of the months.
Yep.
All right, Natalie, I really appreciate your time today. Let's see. Any final thoughts you want to leave these wonderful people?
No, I think we've kind of covered it all, Rick. I don't know. I just get out there and, treat your clients with respect and, look for the relationships and the business will come, and don't chase the business, and it'll find you.
Yes. What I'm hearing is, and in order to get 57% of your business from your clients referring business to you, that simply means 2 things. Number 1, you treat them like gold. Okay. You do an incredible job so they can't wait to tell their friends, and then you get a tremendous business from that. That's very impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you. And you have to ask them to refer you too. That's kind of an important part.
And that's the second step. And you got to check in and say, by the way, who do you know? Now, that's a great point, because a lot of agents think, well, I don't want to beg. When you're calling people you've done an incredible job for, first off, when you call them, Natalie, 9 out of 10 times, they bring up real estate before you, don't they?
Absolutely. I never bring up real estate, but I always talk about it. Something always comes up.
That's an important point, everybody, because you call them, hey, how the kids, what's going on, however you know them, like whatever you know about them, check in. By the way, we hear the market's incredible. And then you have your segue into, by the way, who do you know, church group, family, friends, office, anybody you know, I'd love to help. That's a perfect way to segue into that.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much for taking your time off this morning, Natalie. We really appreciate it. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, my pleasure. And the studio audience go crazy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
See you soon.
Right on.